against impediments in their evolutionary march toward the absolute.
Yes, sir.
Therefore, one of America's greatest crimes was and is depriving us of the richness of our history.
That's right.
So Carter G. Woodson says, if a race have no history, if it has no worthwhile tradition,
Right.
it becomes a negligible factor in the thought of the world, and it stands in danger of being exterminated.
Right,
So those who have no record of what their forebears have accomplished, they lose the inspiration which comes from the teachings of biography and history. Now, John Henry Clark says that history is not everything, but it's a starting point. For history is a clock that people use to tell their political and cultural time of day. For history is a compass that they use to find themselves on the map of human geography.
Right,
For
right.
it tells them where they are, but more importantly, what they must be.
Go ahead, brother.
A man named Paulo Freire says that if the oppressed, or as long as the oppressed, remain unaware of the causes of their condition, then they will fatalistically accept their exploitation.
That's right.
He said, as long as the oppressed remain unaware
Go ahead, brother.
of the causes of their condition,
That's right.
then they will fatalistically accept their exploitation. So in order for us to answer a miracle or a miracle, this question properly, we first must see it in its historical context.
That's right, brother.
Why? Because any text out of context is a pretext for a proof text.
Teach Muhammad.
You understand?
Lay that foundation.
So in order for us to see this or answer this question properly, a miracle or a miracle,
That's right.
we must see it in its historical context.
Right.
Now, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad have taught us that Master Fard Muhammad taught him that our ancestors, our foreparents, were deceived and brought to America by a slave trader whose name was John Hawkins
That's right.
in the year 1555. He said, and what happened to our foreparents and us, their children, after landing here in the Western Hemisphere would make a dog weep and fight that her pups were treated in such a manner as our foreparents and their children were treated.
Right.
He said, and our first parents who were brought here were killed after giving birth to their first children in order to prevent them from teaching their children the knowledge of self, God, and their people. He said, in this act of murdering our foreparents and their children by the slave masters, left our children to be taught and reared in whatever pleased the slave master. He said, so therefore we became blind, deaf, and dumb to the knowledge of ourselves and others.
Yes,
The most honorable Elijah Muhammad says, and it remains true today that the so-called American Negro don't know ourselves or anyone else. He said, and the worst of all is that we don't know ourselves or others.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
We're talking about a miracle or miracle.
That's right, brother.
Which one do we need? Well, in order for us to answer this question properly, again, we have to see it in its historical context.
Right.
Now, when you talk about America, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad says that you and I have been in America since 1555.
Go ahead.
Right?
That's right.
1555. He said that's when we first were brought to America. Dismiss what you and I have learned in a quote-unquote history class. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Of being brought here in 1619.
Right,
No,
right.
by 1619 we were already destroyed. Robbed of the knowledge of self,
That's right.
God, our folk ways, our moral ways, our culture.
That's right.
You understand?
Yes,
Our
sir.
religion,
That's
our
right.
original language.
Yes, sir.
I heard my brother talking about Brother Enrique, that's not his language. Neither is it yours or mine. You understand? Most of these dialects that we speak, they're just bastard languages, most of them. You understand? Because they came from the people who are the original bastards. All right?
Yes, sir.
We're not name calling.
Yes, sir.
But, you know, it is what it is. So our original language, you and I don't know what our original language is. We don't know what our original customs are. You understand? So when you hear Arabic, it seems strange to you because you and I have been robbed of it. You understand? So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that we were brought here. In what year? 1555. It's now June of 2018. Which means that you and I have been in America for 462 years and 6 months. That's a long time, isn't it?
Long time.
Which is equivalent to 5,550 months. That's a long time. Right?
Yes, sir.
5,550 months.
Yes, sir.
Which is equivalent to 22,200 weeks. Man, that's a lot of weeks.
That's a lot of weeks, brother.
You understand? To be in a place,
Yes, sir.
being robbed of your language,
Yes, sir.
the knowledge of God and self, and your
Yes, sir.
culture and your people.
That's right, brother.
5,550 months,
Right.
right?
Come
22,200 weeks,
Come on, brother.
155,400 days. Man, that's a lot of days.
That's a lot of days.
155,400 days.
Yes, sir.
That's a lot of days.
Yes, sir.
3,729,600 hours. 3,729,600 hours you and I have been in America.
Good God Almighty.
223,776,000 minutes.
Yes, sir.
You and I have been in
That's
America.
right.
13,426,560,000 seconds.
Good God.
You and I have been in America. So quite naturally, when we pose to you the question, America or a miracle, which one do we need? Black folks who have been in America for 155,400 days, we're going to naturally be inclined to say what? America.
Yes, sir. Right, right.
Because we've been here for that long. 5,550 months. What can you learn in that man of time? It takes you 4 years to get a degree, right? In your average college. Then what kind of degree you and I have in learning the culture and the ways of white folks? Being under them for 155,400 days. They say it takes 10,000 hours to become a master of anything. You understand? So we've been here now for 462 years and 6 months. Right? Which is equivalent to 5,550 months. Don't you think we have mastered, imitated, and assimilated into the culture of white America?
Yes, sir, brother. Beautiful, beautiful. I think so.
All
Yes, sir,
praise is
brother.
due to Allah.
Praise be to Allah.
Right?
That's right.
Praise be to Allah. Thank you, brother.
Yes, sir. All right, go ahead.
So again, we've been in America for that long.
Yes, sir.
So again, a man named FIYA says that the oppressed haven't internalized
Go ahead, brother.
the image of the oppressor and adopted his guidelines of fearful of freedom. He says the oppressed haven't internalized the image of the oppressor and adopted the oppressor guidelines of fearful of freedom. So many of us claim we want freedom, but do we really want freedom?
Yes, sir.
Because we have thoroughly internalized the image of those who have oppressed us and adopted their guidelines.
Go ahead,
A man named Alan Bloom says that the most successful tyranny is not the one that uses force to ensure uniformity, but the one that removes possibilities that there's an outside, that removes the awareness that another way exists.
Right.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad says that independence to us is strange.
Go ahead,
He
brother.
said we have given up the hope of ever being independent. He said some of us say, what will we do if we don't work for the white man?
Say that.
How will we live? He said, but when you are free and independent, you have a job. But we have the tremendous task of trying to build a civilization for ourselves.
Go ahead, brother.
It's a tremendous task. It's very arduous.
Yes, sir.
But a lot of us who claim we want freedom, is that what we really want?
Go ahead.
We have to
Good
ask
question.
ourselves
Good
that.
question.
All praise is due
Good
to
question.
Allah.
Praise be to Allah.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that as a people, we must become producers and not remain consumers and employees.
That's
He
right.
said we must be able to extract raw materials from the earth and manufacture them into something useful for ourselves.
That's right.
And this will create jobs in production.
Right.
He said we must remember that without land there can be no production. And the surplus of what we produce, we will sell. And this would develop a field of commerce and trade as other free and independent nations have developed for themselves.
Right.
He said as a people we must become producers
Go ahead, brother.
and not remain consumers and employees.
Go ahead, brother.
He said we must be able to extract raw materials from the earth
Yes, sir.
and manufacture them into something useful for ourselves.
That's right.
And this would create jobs in production. But before he said that, he said independence to us is strange.
Go ahead, brother.
Strange to talk about independence to a dependent people. He said then most of us have given up hope of ever being independent.
Wow.
But this is exactly what Allah, God, wants to do for you and I.
right.
He wants us to make us an independent people. Independent from those who have oppressed us. Now, a lot of us talk about what the Caucasian has done to us and is doing to us.
Right. Yes, sir.
But are we ready to leave him,
Go ahead.
to unite with self,
That's right.
and do for self?
That's right, brother. Good question.
Do we trust each other enough?
Whoa. That's it.
I don't know. Because I'm sorry to tell you, but it's not going to get any better. Everything that you see happening in the news, you understand?
Yes, sir. Come on,
It's only going to get worse.
Lay it down.
It's only going to get worse.
Tell it, man.
And the more we demand from this government, the more they're going to push back. Because we have become an irritant to white folks. You understand? So God saying to Pharaoh, I will vex you with a foolish nation. Well, what's going to vex you, Pharaoh? Because they're going to be asking for things that you really don't want to give to them. So you're going to be frustrated and tired of hearing their call for justice. Because you don't really want to give them justice, but they keep pushing and keep pushing. And the more conscious you and I become, the more we awaken, the more we're going to demand from him. Because when you learn truth and you learn what you should be given naturally, then you're going to begin to demand it. Hell, I deserve this. I deserve that. Right? But you and I think that we have a constitutional right. The same constitutional right that white folks have. So oftentimes when we get pulled over, I know my rights. What rights? Because when the Constitution was being drafted, you and I was only considered as 3/5 of a human being. You were not even considered to be human when they was legislating the Constitution. I know my rights. He know your rights too. But he don't believe you have any rights that he should have to respect. So to hell with civil rights, because the white man has never been civil nor right. So how can he give you something that he himself don't have? So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad says, you and I need human rights, because they dehumanized us. So when they pull you over, I know my rights. Hell, he know your rights too. Wait a minute. He knew Muammar Gaddafi rights. You understand? But that did not stop him from going into Libya and killing a leader and destroying the country. He knew Saddam Hussein rights. But did that stop him from going into a sovereign country? A sovereign country. I said a sovereign country. They have their own government, own legislation, own military. But that did not stop him from going in there and killing Saddam Hussein and destroying his people. So if he don't respect the rights of a sovereign country, what rights you think he gonna respect of you and mine?
That's right, brother.
He not gonna respect your rights, because in his eyes you have no rights. I know the Constitution. Yeah, you can know the Constitution. But when the Constitution was being written or drafted, they did not have you and I in mind, because we was on the plantation.
That's right.
You understand?
That's right.
So America, Minister Farrakhan teaches us, is a nation by white people and for white people. And blacks, Native Americans, and all of the Aboriginal people, we were made to be the burden bearers of those whom they considered to be the real Americans. And you and I were never considered and never will be the real Americans. I am an American. Says who?
Go ahead, truth teller.
See, that's the problem that you and I have in dealing with our enemy. Because you think you have the same rights as he has.
Go ahead, man. That's right.
You do, based on the divine law,
Right.
but not based on America's law.
That's right, brother.
See, God has given you and I rights, but the rights that God has given us, the white man has never respected. That's why God today is after him, because of what he has done to us and the rights that God has given us that he has never respected.
Go ahead, brother.
You'll never be equal with him.
Say that, man.
He'll never respect you
Say the truth.
as being his equal intellectually,
That's right.
morally, or no other kind of way. That's why when you get knowledge or you get a degree, and then you want him to respect you, look, I'm here with you. He don't respect you.
Go ahead, brother.
So I seen our sister Viola Davis, who's an actor, a well-accomplished actor, talking about how her accomplishments in acting is equal to Meryl Streep's. But they don't give her what they give Meryl Streep. She don't get the roles Meryl Streep get, and she's a more accomplished actor than Meryl Streep. She don't get the salary she gets, nor does she get the respect or the roles that Meryl Streep gets. But what's the difference? Is it the talent or is it the color? And black folks, soon as we want to talk, well, I just want to say this. It ain't about race. What the hell is wrong with you? It's always been about race.
Right, brother. Go ahead, man. Tell the truth, man. Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
They didn't shoot Trayvon Martin because it wasn't about race. Mike Brown and the countless others that they have killed and brutally maimed, they didn't get our sister out the Waffle House because it wasn't about race. We've seen the difference of how they handle white and how they handle black. I don't know if you all seen the video of the white woman who is the commissioner of, I forget, she have now since retired after the video went viral, But you see how she was talking to these cops. Wait a minute. She got out the car. Wait a minute. They're Princeton graduates. Wait, F you. Sister was just asking for some plastic utensils. They wasn't trying to hear that though. So there is a difference. But every time you see a so-called Negro, a she-gro, go on CNN. Yeah, Negro and she-gro. Whenever you see that, the first thing come out of our mouth, man, it ain't about race. I don't want to make this a black and white thing. Then what you trying to make it? It always been that. You understand? Not with us though. Not with us. Not with you, brother. Because that's not our nature. Our nature is not like their nature. Everybody who ever come among us, after being among us for a while, hell, that's our cousin. You understand? White folk move in. After a while, we might beat him up once or twice. If he can handle it, hell, you down, bro. Chill, man. Chill, man. You know what I'm saying? Leave little freckles alone, man. That's us. We ain't never been like that. That's not our spirit. You understand? But you know what? That's the reason we're in the condition we in. Because when John Hawkins came, Lil Hunky came, and we was in Africa chilling, playing the drums, doing our thing. Being so loving and open-heartedly and mercy, we always let them come in. Come on in, man. Tell it. Same thing happened with Christopher Columbus. Did it not? The Indians were here chilling, hunting and fishing. Columbus came, but we looked at them like we looked at ourselves. But we are two different people. Same thing happened in Mexico. We always let them in with open arms. Come on in. See, Shaka Zulu was... I know we seen Shaka Zulu. I know your grandmother made you watch Shaka Zulu. Ain't no going outside. You gonna watch Shaka Zulu. Yes. Roots, you seen all of that?
Yes, sir.
See, Shaka was good at first. But this man is a natural deceiver.
Yes, he is.
You understand? But we good. Man, I'll bring it back home. Some contemporary news. Now we seen my brother J. Cole. Y'all know J. Cole?
Yes, sir.
Right? And a white boy named Lil Pump. Right? He white. See, Cole is Cole though. Cole is a brother. You understand? But Pump is Pump. And he's not a brother, he's another. But we seen how our brother Cole handled him. Very respectfully. Brought him to the studio. Come on, man, let's have an interview. You understand? Did not destroy him, even though he could have. But he didn't do that. Why? Because what's the nature of you and I? A nature of mercy, love, right? That's our nature. You know that's our nature. You know that's our nature.
Yes, it is.
I'm talking about a miracle or miracle. Which one do we need? So Abraham Lincoln said, Abraham Lincoln said, I see in the near future a crisis approaching that unnerves me and causes me to tremble for the safety of my country. This is what Abraham Lincoln said. He said, I see in the near future a crisis approaching that unnerves me and causes me to tremble for the safety of my country. Now, what did Abraham Lincoln see that unnerved him? Well, Abraham Lincoln also said, I believe that the Bible is the best gift. He said, I believe that the Bible is the best gift that God has ever given to man. He said, and all of the great words from the Savior of the world has been communicated to us through this book. Now, this is what Abraham Lincoln said, that he saw in the near future a crisis coming that unnerved him, made him nervous. He said, but the Bible is the best gift that God has ever given to man. So he was a student of Scripture.
Yes, sir.
So what did Abraham Lincoln see that unnerved him? That made him a little uneasy.
Tell us, brother. Tell us.
What did he see if he said he loved the Bible? Now, how many of us here love the Bible? Damn, nobody here love the Bible? Jesus Christ. just want to like participate. Maybe that's what it is. I'm not going to say well, but maybe we just being honest.
Yes, sir.
Maybe we just being honest. Man, you know, I really don't love the Bible. The hell with the Bible. The Bible just not relevant, huh? I guess. I hope we love it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Praise be to Allah. Well, let me say this though, for those of us who don't love it. This is why Jesus called the Jews what he called them. Devils. But Jesus said in Matthew 22:29, see, you do err, not knowing the scriptures, nor the power of God. See, that's why you're making errors. You understand? Because we don't love the word of God enough and what he has prophesied through his prophets.
Yes, sir. Yes,
See,
sir.
the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said the disbeliever is he or she who believes that which they see present and not that which has been prophesied to come. See, that's what makes you a disbeliever when you don't believe in what has been prophesied through God's prophets.
Right.
That's what makes you a disbeliever.
Right.
When you disbelieve in what God has predicted through the mouth of his prophets. So Jesus is now saying you do make error, not knowing the scriptures nor the what? Power of God.
That's
Right?
That's right.
So when you don't know what God has predicted
Right.
and what God has prophesied, then you take the secular things that you see as being reality.
Yes, sir.
And you judge things based on what's in front of your eyes. But those things are ever passing away and they're limited.
Right.
How just would God be if you and I are his creature and he did not give us instructions on how to live our best life? And that's why we don't live our best life. Because we're basing it off of he who is the in rebellion to God has given us. So we don't follow God's guidance or the guidance that God has given us through a messenger, but we follow he or she who's in direct contravention to God. So that's what the Bible says in the book of Proverbs, chapter 14, verse 12. It says that there's a way which seems right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. So what you're doing is seeming right to you because you've never been given a standard. And the Caucasian has always blurred the lines between what's right and what's wrong. So now the people are in a state of confusion. Not knowing on how to judge. You don't know if homosexuality wrong or not no more. You don't even know no more. I don't want to touch that. But what did God say? And why don't you know if it's right anymore? The Bible says in the book of Romans, the 1st chapter, right? The 25th verse. Look what it says. It says, who changed the truth of God into a lie? Let's just stop right there. Who changed the truth of God into a lie? See, who changed the truth of God into a lie? And worshiped and served the creature more than the creator. See, who changed the truth of God into a lie? It wasn't the creator, because the truth is from the creator. But it's the creature that changed the truth of God into a lie. And who was that creature? That creature was the Caucasian white man. He changed the truth of God into a lie and made Jesus white. So now we worshiping him and not worshiping God. So who changed the truth of God into a lie and worshiped and served the creature more than the creator? So this is why you don't like the creator's word, you like the creature's word. See, you don't apply yourself to the study of the creator's word like you do to the creature's word. I got to pass this test. So you up all night reading what comes from him. But what God give us, I ain't got no time for that. But look what God says, what happened. For this cause, God gave them up unto vile affection. For even their woman did change the natural use, right, into that which is against nature. So since now we don't have truth, right, we have become changed. So he said even their woman did change the natural use into that which is against nature. So now we're not our natural selves. So everything that we use is artificial. Everything we eat is artificial. So now they're talking about artificial intelligence. Why? Because when you don't know God's truth, then truth is that which makes you your original or natural self. But when you are not your original or natural self, you no longer use that which is natural. You need that which is unnatural. Now you need a sex doll now.
Go ahead, brother.
That's not natural.
That's not natural at all.
See? Most of the things we eat is not natural. You ain't drinking no orange juice, you just drinking concentrate.
Go ahead, brother.
You're not your natural self.
Yes, sir.
Neither are you, sister.
Go ahead, brother.
So now you need makeup.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
You need to be made up. God already made you in the beginning. But since you are disconnected from him, now you need to be made up again. Hell, we got to pull you by your, just to get you to go natural.
Yes, sir. Okay. Yes, sir, brother.
And likewise,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
also the men, even the natural use of the woman. The natural use of the woman. See, what's the natural use? You don't even use her no more for what God created her to be used for, given for. The natural use of the woman. Now you want to do all type of things that's not natural with her. Burn in their lust. See, and that's how it starts. It don't just start like it starts. First, you no longer want to be natural with her. Then after that, you got to increase. So burn in their lust one toward another.
Yes, sir.
Men with men. Working that which is unseemly. And receiving in themselves that recompense of their error which was meant.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
It's all been written.
Right.
It's been written already.
That's right.
So nothing that we see happening has not been written already.
Right.
It's already in the book.
Yes, sir.
God prophesies what will be happening.
Yes, sir.
But if we don't read the prophecy now,
Right.
we think this is some new phenomenon.
Right.
This ain't nothing new. God wrote it already in the book of how we will begin to degenerate and deteriorate
Yes, sir.
as a people.
Yes, sir.
Why? Not just because we are deteriorating, but something happened. Who changed the truth of God into a lie?
Right.
Who blurred the lines?
Right.
Who did it? Who has been our primary teacher?
Right.
That's all you got to do is ask. Man, who been my primary teacher?
Right.
That's all you got to do is ask.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You all understand that, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Break it to a lot. Now, it talks about in Isaiah 5:20, right?
Yes, sir.
Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil. See, what are we talking about now? We're talking about role reversal. Homosexuality is called good, isn't it? It's called good in America. Listen, we're not here to condemn anybody.
Go ahead, brother.
But being promiscuous is good in America. Right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Don't worry about not being, don't worry about getting pregnant. We got something for that.
Right.
Get your plan B. You understand?
Yes, sir.
They get your plan B. So woe to them that call evil good and good evil. That put darkness for light and light for darkness. That put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. See, it's talking about role reversal now. You understand? So now you won't be able to distinguish what's what now. Because who changed the truth of God into a lie?
Right.
And whoever did that, that's your enemy.
Right.
Why? Because Jesus said in John 8:33, right? What did he say in John? What would truth do? He said that you shall know the truth, and the truth shall do what? Make you free. But whoever will come and change the truth of God into a lie, that means they don't want you to be free.
Right, brother.
Because freedom or truth is synonymous with freedom.
Yes, sir.
So whoever would give you a lie, they don't want you to be free.
That's right.
So Jesus said, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall do what?
Set you
Make
free.
you free. But can you handle the truth when it comes to you?
Go ahead, brother.
That's what allows us to distinguish whether you are a devil or not.
Right.
Because those who are from God, they love truth.
Yes, sir.
But the devil don't love truth. No. So Jesus said, he that of God, what do? He heareth God's words. But ye therefore hear them not, because you are not of God. So he who is of God, he hear God's word. He loves God's word. But who's not of God, when God's words come, they... Hell is that? You understand? But we not like that because we like that. Again, I said in 125, who did what? Change the truth of God into a lie. So now, so many lies have come before us that when the truth comes, we can't comprehend that it is true. Because Jesus said, all have come before me and thieves and robbers. It's like you, brother, if you've been in a relationship and your spouse cheated, then every woman that comes after her, you're going to look at her. I don't know, man. I don't know, bro, because, you know, Sandy cheated on me. So you hurt, right? So you're like, yo, now you're going to be a super dog now. Man, I don't care no more. Right? Because you hurt. So we not like that because we just like that. You understand? But so many people have come before us and they have not spoken the truth, or they have mixed up truth with falsehood, or taken advantage of us. So now when truth comes, we skeptical. So Farrakhan is here. But you looking at him through the side of your eye. Even though his tenure should be proof enough that this man is not a liar, not a thief, or not a robber. And that he says what he means and he means what he says. A man been among you 62.5 years. That's a long time. And been consistent in what he gave you and I.
Go ahead, man.
That's a long time. You understand? That's a long time right there. It's a long time. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Abraham Lincoln said, I see in the near future a crisis approaching that unnerves me and causes me to tremble for the safety of my country.
Go ahead.
He said, I believe that the Bible is the best gift that God has ever given to man. And that all the good words from the Savior of the world have been communicated to us through this book. So now Abraham Lincoln loved the Bible. So what unnerved him? We think that he quote unquote freed the slaves, which we know is false. You understand? He only did that out of circumstances or out of a necessity. But he did not free us because he loved us. You understand? He did to us what all white folks do to us. They'll use us as long as they can benefit from us. You understand? But if they can't benefit from us, the hell with you and the hell with us. You got it. So what did Abraham Lincoln see that unnerved him? See, he knew this book that many of us don't know. You understand? He knew the Bible said in Genesis 15:13.
Go ahead.
He knew this.
Go ahead.
You may don't know, but he knew it. And the Lord said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in the land that is not theirs.
That's right.
Shall serve them, shall afflict them 400 years.
That's right.
And also that nation whom they serve will I judge.
That's right.
And afterwards shall they come out with great substance.
That's right.
Thou shalt go to thy fathers in peace and be buried in a good old age. See, he knew this. He said the Bible is the best gift that God has ever given to man. So he was an avid reader of the Bible. So he's flicking through the Bible. Wait a minute now. Genesis 15:13. The hell is this? And the Lord said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in the land that is not theirs, and shall afflict them and shall serve them 400 years.
Go ahead.
You start counting the fingers. Oh, okay. He read. He wasn't too bad at that one. But then he kept reading. And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge.
Right there. Yes, sir. No problem. Right. Yes, sir.
And afterwards shall they come out with great substance. So wherever there's going to be a people in a strange land for 400 years, God going to judge that nation?
That's right. Listen.
Yes, sir.
He knew this.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Abraham Lincoln knew this book.
Yes, he did.
He knew Deuteronomy. No, he knew Exodus. chapter 21, verse 16. And he that stealeth a man and selleth him, if he be found in his hand, surely he shall be what?
Put to death.
Damn, we stole these black folks. He knew this book, man.
Yes, sir.
And he that stealeth a man and selleth him, did America steal us?
Yes, sir.
That's right.
What are we found in America's hands? Then what you think gonna come to America? Yeah. I'm sorry to tell you these things.
Go ahead, brother.
So we believe in a judgment. We believe this first judgment will take place as God has revealed in America.
Yes, sir.
And he that stealeth a man, did America steal us or did she?
Yes, sir.
Did she bring a cruise ship
Go ahead, brother.
to West Africa?
Yes, sir.
I know you all like the carnival.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Did a carnival ship come up?
No, sir.
Did everybody get on?
No, sir.
Hell no. So did America steal us?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And what we found in her hands.
Yes, sir.
Then death to America. Abraham Lincoln knew this. That's what I'm trying to show you. He knew Deuteronomy 4:34.
Right?
Or have God essayed to go and take him a nation from what? The midst of another nation. So now here God has said he's going to take a nation.
Yes, sir.
Right? Go
From
ahead.
who? The midst of another nation.
Right?
Are we not a nation in a nation?
Yes, sir.
But he's not just going to take that nation. He's going to do something. By
Right.
temptations,
Go
by
ahead.
signs, by wonders, by war,
Go ahead.
by a mighty hand,
Go ahead.
by stretched out arm, and by great terrors.
Yes, sir.
See, God is going to take him a nation from the midst of another nation.
That's right, brother.
But when he come, he ain't going to be singing love notes.
Go ahead.
He going to make war or declare war on that nation.
That's right.
Now, how does God make war?
Lord.
With the natural calamities that we see.
That's right.
Abraham Lincoln knew this.
Yes, sir.
He was an avid Bible reader.
That's right.
We didn't read the Bible because we couldn't read.
Right.
But he read the Bible. And he loved it.
Right. Right.
And he knew that God had prophesied and predicted
Yes, sir, brother.
that his people would be strangers in the land, but that wouldn't be all.
Go ahead.
That God was going to ask for revenge
Right.
Go ahead, man.
on what you have done to my children.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yes,
And he
sir.
was scared.
Yes, sir.
Oh, he was scared.
Oh, yes, sir. Thank you.
All I'm saying is he knew the book.
Yes, sir.
He knew this book. He knew the book of Psalms.
That's right.
See? Come on now. He knew Psalms. We talking about the Bible. You don't know it, but he knew. By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down. We wept when we remembered Zion. We hanged our harps upon the willows in the midst thereof.
Right.
For they that carried us away captive required of us a song, and they that wasted us required of us mirth. Said, sing us one of the songs of Zion. But we said, how can we sing the Lord's song in a strange land?
Come on, man. Come on.
We can't sing God's song in a strange land. But Babylon here is synonymous with being on the shores of Jamestown, Virginia.
Right.
Yes, sir.
When we seen that ship Jesus leaving,
Right.
we wept. And those who carried us away captive, they required of us what? A song.
Yes, sir.
Just like they do today when we dancing on these executive tables.
Right.
Dance, nigga, dance. Sing. Keisha, sing. See, they required of us a song.
Yes, sir.
But what did we say? How shall we sing the Lord's song in a strange land? We ain't singing God's song. Not this man is be singing.
Right.
I want to digress for a second.
Go ahead, brother. Take
We
your
ain't
time.
singing God's song, are we? So look what the Bible says in Ecclesiastes. It is better to hear the rebuke of the wise than for a man to hear the song of fools. Okay, I'll come back. So he knew this Bible. That's the point I'm trying to get to. Right? He knew the Bible. He knew. He knew the book of Obadiah. He knew this.
Right.
115.
Go ahead,
For
brother.
the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, so shall it be done unto thee.
Right.
He knew that.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
He knew this was going to happen.
Yes, sir.
He was just afraid.
Yeah,
He's just
yeah.
afraid. Right? He knew the book of Ezekiel, the 34th chapter.
Yes, sir.
Verses 11
Go ahead.
and 12. This is God talking.
God talking.
For thus saith the Lord, behold, even I, will both search my sheep and seek them out. This God talking. I ain't going to send somebody. I'm going to search out my sheep, and I'm going to seek them out.
Yes, sir.
As the shepherd seeketh out his flock in the day that they are scattered, so will I seek out my sheep. And what he going to do? Deliver them out of all the places where they have been scattered in the cloudy and dark day. Yo, he knew this. That's all I'm saying.
You're saying a lot.
You don't know it, but Abraham Lincoln knew
That's
it.
right. That's right.
He knew the book of Habakkuk.
Go ahead, brother.
Right? Chapter 3, verse 3. God came from T-Man and a Holy One from Mount Paran. His glory covered the heavens and the earth was full of his praise. He knew this. He knew God was coming. He knew. You didn't know because we couldn't read.
Right.
But he knew. He knew the book of Matthew, the 24th chapter, the 27th verse.
That's right.
For as the lightning cometh out of the east and shineth even unto the west, so shall also who? The coming of the Son of Man be.
That's right.
And for wherever the carcass is,
Right.
there will the eagles be gathered together. He knew this.
Right.
I'm saying Lincoln knew this. He knew this book. You don't know it.
Right.
But he knew it. You understand? Him and all his predecessors knew it. George Washington knew this book. See, they knew this Bible. They knew the prophecy. They knew Bible and Holy Quran.
Right.
They knew both books. They knew that America was right in line of Egypt. That's why they put the emblem on the back of the dollar bill that they put on the back of the dollar bill. That's why the American symbol is a bird of prey, the eagle. They knew this.
Right.
You understand? They knew that they was in line with divine prophecy. So Thomas Jefferson said, rebellion to tyrants is obedience to God.
That's right. That's what he said.
Because they knew this. They knew these books. You don't know them, but they knew them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You understand?
Yes, sir. Sure.
Thomas Jefferson said, I tremble for my country.
Yes, he did. Brother.
When I reflect that God is just.
That's right.
And that his justice cannot sleep lying down forever.
That's right.
People don't just tremble unless they know someone.
Go ahead, man.
What did Thomas Jefferson do? See, Thomas Jefferson was a Mason. And in Masonry, after you get to a certain degree, you put the Bible down and you pick up the Quran.
That's right.
So what did Thomas Jefferson know
Right.
that you don't know? All right?
Yes, sir.
See, he knew. Man, this man knew, man. That's all I'm trying to show you. He knew the 7th chapter of the Holy Quran, the 34th verse, where it says, in every nation has a term.
That's right.
So when its terms come, they cannot remain behind the leash while, nor can they precede it. He knew this. What did it say? That every nation, not some nations,
Right.
but every nation has a term.
That's right.
And when that term comes, they cannot postpone it.
Right.
So he knew that America was going to have a term.
That's right.
That she was going to have to answer for what she did.
Right.
And knowing that, he said, damn, I tremble for my country. When I reflect that what God is just. And that his justice cannot sleep lying down forever.
That's right, brother.
He knew the Holy Quran, chapter 10, verse 47.
That's right.
Where it says, and for every nation there's a messenger. Not some nations. And for every nation there's a messenger. So when that messenger comes, the matter is decided between them with justice, and surely they're not wrong. He didn't say some nations. He said, and for every nation there's a messenger. Where's your messenger?
That's a good question.
I'm asking you.
That's a good question.
Wake us up.
That's a good question.
Where's your messenger? Because it's against the nature of God to lie. So he said, and for every nation there's a messenger.
Right.
So when that messenger comes,
Come on, man.
the matter is decided
Right.
between him, who? Not somebody else, but them. With justice, and surely they not wrong. He knew
right.
that America was due a divine messenger. Because we had never had one. We read of the messengers that Israel had and that they had in the Middle East, but we didn't have any. So he knew chapter 10, 47.
Go ahead, brother.
And for every nation there's a messenger.
Right.
You didn't know that, but Jefferson knew that.
Right.
He knew the Holy Quran 14:4.
Talk.
And we sent no messenger.
Go ahead, brother.
Except with what? The language of his people. So that he might explain to them clearly. Then Allah leads in error whom he pleases, and he guides whom he pleases.
That's right. That's right.
He knew that. Man, don't be expecting no Jesus. Jesus didn't know a lick of English. Prophet Muhammad did not know a lick of English. Abraham didn't know a lick of English. Moses didn't know a lick of English. None of the former prophets knew your language.
That's right. That's right.
So he sent no messenger except with what? The language of his people. So that he might explain to them what? Clearly.
Clearly.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Wait a minute, all praise to you, Allah, but I don't need no applause right now. I just need you to hear me and follow me. God, why would you, why would you sin with, except with the language? I'm telling you. It's all in the book.
Go ahead, brother.
Because God knows, he knows the mentality of Negroes.
You're dealing, brother.
I ain't understand.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Messengers, bearers of good news and warners,
Right.
so that the people may have no plea against Allah after the coming of messengers. What is he saying? I don't need no excuses.
Come on, brother.
About you ain't understand.
Go ahead, brother.
Because you know how we do. Your mother, you heard me. I ain't hear you, Mom. You did hear. You heard loud and clear.
True.
I ain't hear you. Right? The Holy Quran says in chapter 40, verse, and I don't know where it's at right now, but anyway. So he knew this book. That's what I'm saying. Thomas Jefferson knew the book. He knew the Holy Quran, 1636.
Yes, sir.
Where it says, and certainly we raised in every nation. Now look at the language now. We raised in what? We raised in what? Every nation saying what? Serve Allah and do what? Did not the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teach us to serve Allah and shun the devil? But the problem is you don't agree with who he said is the devil. He didn't shirk his duty. He said serve Allah and shun the devil. But you and I did not believe that the devil was the devil. And your justification for it is, man, we all do wrong. Yes, this is true. We all do wrong. But is your wrong? No, because y'all not hearing me. See, is your wrong? I'm not scapegoating anybody, brother or sister. But what I'm saying is, we ask the question, a miracle or what? A miracle. Which one do we need, right? And we said we have to see this in its historical context.
Yes, sir.
So we said, okay, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad says we've been in America since 1555. Right or wrong?
That's right.
It's now June of 2018. So we gave you a rundown of how long we've been here.
Right.
Again, 5,550 months.
Right.
That's a long time to be under the exclusive tutelage
Yes, sir.
of somebody else.
Yes, sir. Yes,
You
sir.
understand?
Yes, sir.
155,400 days. That's a long time
Yes, sir.
to be under somebody's foot and thumb.
That's right.
Exclusively.
That's right.
There was nobody else that came and was teaching us. Even today, the books that they have in the public school, they're not published by us.
Right.
They're published by who? Scholastics. And who are scholastics? White folks. Or McGraw-Hill.
Yes, sir.
So again, we've been under the tutelage and foot in the influence of who? Don't be afraid.
That's right.
Just bear witness to the truth.
That's it, brother.
Again, he said, as long as the oppressed remain unaware of the causes of their condition, they will fatalistically accept their exploitation. So you always have to know the cause in order for you and I to properly remedy the effect. You understand? So we're not just scapegoating, but in order for us to answer this question properly, America or miracle, you have to see it in its historical context. You have to know, how did you get here?
Come on, brother.
I mean, where you at right now and why your thinking is like your thinking is. You understand? So I don't try to show that I'm some mathematician by breaking down these numbers. But just to say 462 years in 6 months, you can understand that. That's a long time. But when I give you the amount of hours we've been under this devil, 13,426,560,000 hours being under him and his influence, then what do you and I think we have picked up from him? Now, for 300 of those years, we was exclusively under him on the plantation, learning from him. You understand? So I'm just saying, you got to understand it in that context.
That's right.
You got me. And certainly we shall raise what? In every nation a messenger. Saying, serve Allah and shun the devil.
Yes, sir.
Right? Then of them was he whom Allah guided, and of them was he who remaining in error was justly due. You understand? See, God is a God of justice.
Yes, sir.
He don't just destroy you. It's like in the Caucasian world, they say ignorance to the law is no excuse. So you ran that red light, you ran it. You be like, I didn't know we wasn't supposed to run red light. No, here go that ticket anyway. But God is not like that.
Yes,
God judge you based on what you know.
Yes, sir.
You understand? And if you don't know something, then he don't hold you responsible for it.
Right.
But once you say you know, then your sin remains. You understand?
Yes, sir.
I know Jesus died for our sin. No, he didn't. No, the hell he didn't. Because this is against what God said. I'm going to show you right now.
Yes, sir.
Ezekiel 8:20. Look what he says. The soul that sinneth, it shall die. The son shall not bear the iniquity of the father. Neither shall the father bear the iniquity of the son. Right? That's God talking. The righteousness of the righteous shall be upon him, and the wickedness of the wicked shall be upon him. So Jesus could not have borne your iniquity. God said, no, your righteousness is your righteousness and your wickedness is your wickedness.
That's right, brother.
So you can't nobody die for your sins.
Go ahead, brother.
You die for your own sins.
Say that, man. Say that.
You understand?
Say that. Yes, sir.
But Jesus was different. No, he wasn't. And that's what Ezekiel said. And then, because Jesus knew you was going to try to pull that small-time stuff, but Jesus was a different caliber from the prophets, okay? Jesus said in 5:17, think not that I've come to destroy the law of the prophets. I ain't came to bring you anything different than what Moses and Ezekiel brought you, but I came to fulfill it,
yes, sir.
not to bring you anything different.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So stop the madness,
Yes,
all right?
Yes, sir.
So now, I was talking about us. I'm not scapegoating white people. I'm not doing that.
Yes, sir.
But what I'm saying is this. When you read Matthew 1:21, the purpose of Jesus, it says, and she shall, talking about Mary, bring forth a son. Thou shalt call his name Jesus. And what shall he do? From what? But the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, no, not quite. That our Jesus is going to come to save us from the sins of white people.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You understand?
That's right, brother.
Because I just don't feel like I get it. Okay. I got you. Okay. So, how many of us here got children? Okay. If your child is not over 18
Go ahead.
and it commits a crime,
Go ahead.
because the child lives in your house, right?
Yes, sir.
Even though you did not commit the crime, you can still be liable. Can't you? Why? Because they figured the child is not of an age, you understand, to properly have discerned what him or her was doing. So they call that being vicariously liable. Meaning that the child is under your roof, under your tutelage. So you got to take some of the weight of this. You understand?
Yes, sir.
What I'm saying is that whose house we've been living in. It's not ours. It's theirs, and they brought us here.
That's right.
So we like their children.
Right.
So we, defecating and making a mess. Who did we learn it from? Our surrogate mother and father. Okay. Because I'm not trying to scapegoat white folks. I ain't trying to do that, but I'm just trying to get you to understand.
True.
You understand?
Yes, sir.
Praise be to Allah. So I was talking about Thomas Jefferson, right? We're going to get out of here. I was talking, no, I ain't going to take my time, brother. Black folks get tired quick. Quick as hell. We get tired quick. You know, man. But patience is running thin, bro. Okay. So we gonna get out of here. So what I was, black folks get tired quick. You understand? We need some new stuff quick. Right? Come on, keep it real, man. That phone was everything when you first got that 7. Then when the 8 came, the hell with the 7. How we are. I was talking about Thomas Jefferson. He trembled for his country, right?
Yes, sir.
So I said he knew the Quran 28:59, okay, where it says, "And our Lord never destroyed the town until he raised in their metropolis a messenger." I just want you to see that that's God's mercy to you. That whenever you are ignorant, God sends you somebody.
That's right.
You understand? To raise you out of your ignorance.
That's right.
You got me. That's all I'm saying. That, and they knew this. They knew Bible and Quran. Now, whenever people are ignorant and they are in rebellion to God, He don't just destroy them. He raised up a messenger for them to teach them and guide them. Okay? That's the moral of that story. Now, so the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that when God appeared to him in the person of Master Father Muhammad, to whom praise is due forever, in 1931 in Detroit, he said that America was his #1 enemy on his list for destruction. Right. And while he declared other European nations is getting an extension of time, he declared that Americans and Germans were the 2 most evil, vicious, troublemaking people on our planet. Right. And he said that America cannot be equally paid back for what she had done to us, the poor black man and woman of America. He said he could not equally pay her back for what she did to us.
That's right, brother.
You understand? So, Frederick Douglass said that the relationship between white and black people of this country is the great paramount imperative and all commanding question of this age and nation to solve. This is what Frederick Douglass said. He said the relationship between, you can look it up yourself, the relationship between the white and black people of this country is the great imperative and paramount question in this age and nation to be solved. So the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, in light of said statement, said that he's here to fulfill a promise that was made long ago. Now this is what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, that he is here to fulfill a promise that was made long ago. Well, what promise that was made long ago that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is here to fulfill? I gotta tell you. I gotta tell you. It was written of. Malachi 4:5. Behold, I will send you Elijah. See, God talking. Malachi means my messenger. See, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, I'm here to fulfill a promise that was made long ago.
Yes, sir.
And the promise that was made long ago that God would send you a man named Elijah before the coming of the great and dreadful day.
That's right.
And he said, I will turn the heart of the father to their children,
right,
and the heart of the children back to their fathers.
That's right.
You understand?
Yes,
so where we have been disconnected from our roots, our history, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad would come back and restore us. Right. You understand? Yes, he said, I'm here to fulfill a promise that was made long ago.
Yes, sir.
What promise was it, Elijah? This Jesus talking to the disciples. And they asked him. He said, they asked him, why say the scribes that Elijah must first come? Right? Mm-hmm. And Jesus said that he shall come and restore all things. The disciples asked Jesus, why say the scribes that Elijah must first come? And they said Elijah must first come to do what? To restore all things. So where we have been broken, God has raised up the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan to restore us
Right.
because we are broken people.
That's right, brother.
So he said, I'm here to bring you the truth. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad talking. He says, I'm here ultimately with a solution for the so-called Negroes' problem with their white slave masters.
Go ahead, go
He
ahead.
said, I'm here with what? A solution.
Yes, sir.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad says, by the help and guidance of Allah God, that he has put before us the wisest and best thing for our future.
Right.
He says without any arrogance that the wisest and surest way to success is to unite behind him.
That's right.
For he have assured us that with the help of Allah God, that we will fulfill our goals of money, good home, and friendship in all walks of life. You say, how? Elijah, what are you going to do? He said this, I have set before you a program according to the divine supreme being and his prophets. He said, you have neither produced a better program nor anything to equal it. And your present plans are involved in one of the most disgraceful programs, especially those of us who boast that we are free and want freedom, justice, and equality with our slave masters by sitting, standing, and begging to be accepted as the brothers of those who for 400 years have brought us into our present condition. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad says that the program that he has given us should in fact be put before Congress. He says because the Civil Rights Bill and integration will never stand. It can never bring us independence. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad says he has offered America a solution to her problems with her slaves. But because she knows that we are dumb enough not to want to accept it, America is condemning herself to an early doom by rejecting it. He says the only way out is to separate the two people, black and white.
Go ahead, brother.
Despite our foolish cry that we love white people and want to remain with them.
Go ahead.
But check this out. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad says, by the help and guidance of Allah God, that he has, and he will still prove to us that God has given him the only solution to our problems here in this race of merciless devils. But look what he said. If you can prove to him that you have a better solution for the future of our nation, he will bring his followers and come and join you. That's what he said. But, however, if the solution given to him for Almighty God Allah's best, come. You and your followers and come and join with him. So I want to hear your solution.
Yes, sir.
Black folks don't got no solution. No, they don't. We don't got no real solution. And all of our solutions are based on a temporary fix. It's not based on anything permanent. Now understand, there's a lot of us who feel that economic self-sufficiency will, give us some relief. No, it won't. It will not. Nothing but separation is going to solve our problem. History is all about studies. The most attractive and best qualified to reward our research.
That's right.
Was not Tulsa, Oklahoma enough for you and I to understand that even if we had our own town, living among them, they will not let us live in peace. Because they will eventually get so angry that they will attack us.
Yes, sir, brother. That's right, brother.
That should have been enough. Because business is warfare.
That's right.
So if you have great business, this white man can always subpoena you. Look what he did to Jay-Z. You thought he was free, did you? See, because first he rejected it. I ain't coming in there, but I need to answer questions before they say, oh, you not? Oh, you not? And then they subpoenaed him. I seen him walking in there. Did you see him? I seen him walk into the courtroom to answer questions. So money ultimately is not going to free you. You think it is? Ask Oprah. She was over there in Europe, Oprah the billionaire. They wouldn't even sell her black behind the belt. I don't care who you are or how much money you got. That don't make you equal with us. The only way you and I can truly be free is to separate from him. Everything else is going to be temporary. A temporary relief or a temporary fix. Now I know you think politics is the all answer.
Go ahead, brother. Talk.
You have 56 governors in New Jersey.
Yes, sir.
You ain't got no justice yet.
That's right. Think about it.
56 governors, 45 presidents,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
41 senators, and 40 mayors.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
You ain't got no justice yet. You still struggling with poverty.
Go ahead, brother.
So what solution do you have? It's a temporary solution. You understand? Trying to be equal. You still in a slave master's house.
Go ahead.
He'll never let you be equal with him. When he owns everything and you own nothing.
That's right.
You understand?
Yes, sir.
So, you say, well, what makes the Honorable Elijah Muhammad so sure that only separation will work? The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us to observe the operations of the white man.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
He said he's successful.
That's right.
He makes no excuses for a failure.
That's right.
He works hard in the collective manner, you do the same.
That's right.
That's right.
That's what he said.
That's what he said.
He said, observe the operations of the white man. He is successful.
That's right.
He works hard in the collective manner. And you should do what?
The same.
Brother, you want to be a good basketball player? Right? You study those that have been successful. You don't study nobody who haven't been successful. You want to be number one, you study those that was number one. You don't study the number 2 or 3 man because they lost.
Go ahead, wake us up.
Yes, sir.
Think that, right?
Clearly right.
You love to study Jordan because, man, he was the best.
Go.
So if you want to be the best, you got to study what?
Best.
So if you want to be free, who you got to study?
Free man.
Those that are free.
That's
You
right,
can't
brother.
claim you want freedom and then you study and oppress people.
Uh-huh.
Hell, they oppressed. So if I want to be free, I need to study other free people.
Right.
Then I need to study how did they get free.
That's
right.
So you don't like Haiti, but hell, you need to study some Haiti. Man, they backwards. They wasn't backwards enough. They freed themselves. Haiti, the only black independent country. What did they have to do that you and I are not willing to do?
That's right.
You trying to get free studying oppressed people.
Go ahead, brother.
This is true.
That's right. That's right.
But study the country that you in. Is America a free sovereign country?
Yes, sir.
Is she a free sovereign country? How did she get free?
War.
Huh?
War.
War?
Yes,
She stole? Some people say went to war. Some people, that ain't how she got free because she stole. No. She was under the subjugation of who? England.
Right.
Right? And they wanted to be what?
Free.
They wanted to be free. They was not good with paying taxes to England. They felt they wasn't being properly represented. So that's where the phrase come. That representation without taxation. Taxation without representation. It's an injustice.
That's right. That's right.
Right?
That's right.
So America wanted to get free. And this is the greatest nation in the last 6,000 years.
That's right.
Is it or is it not? So if we want to build a nation, we need to do what? Study other nations.
yes, sir.
If we want to be free, we need to study other people who was not free. And then look and say, what did they do in order to get free? So was America free? She was not free. She was under Great Britain. And then one day, Thomas Jefferson wrote a document.
Yes, sir.
He didn't just write it, but things was going on.
Right.
People was agitating. Give me liberty, give me death. All kind of things were being said. Right? But Thomas Jefferson wrote a document
Yes, sir.
called what? The Declaration of Independence.
That's right.
And what did he say? What did that document say that you and I need to look and learn from?
Right.
And use as our base in order for us to declare our independence, or have somebody already did it.
Go ahead.
Now he said that when in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them to another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature God entitled them, a proper respect for the decency of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impelled them to the separation. So what was he saying? That whenever one people want to separate from another people, they shouldn't just do it. They first should give the cause or the reason or the rationale on why they want to separate. Then he said, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, that's not quite correct. We're not all created equal, but we created equally. But anyway, for the sake of time, he said, we all are created equal. That we are all endowed by our Creator with certain what? Inalienable rights. What does inalienable mean? Rights that are sovereign, your natural rights. Rights that are bestowed on you and me by God. He said, and among these rights is life, liberty, and the what? Pursuit of happiness. That these rights are natural from God. These rights are not bestowed on you by no constitution. Man don't bestow these rights on you. God has bestowed these rights on you. That you should be free. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But this is the key. He said governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. And that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of those ends, it is the right of the people to alter, to abolish that government. You understand?
Yes, sir.
So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, since we cannot get along with them in peace and equality, after giving them 400 years of our sweat and blood, and receiving in return some of the worst treatment human beings have ever experienced, we believe our contribution to this land and the suffering forced upon us by white America justifies our demand for complete separation in a state or territory of our own.
That's right.
That's what he said. He said we want every black man and woman to have the freedom to accept or reject being separated from the slave master's children and establish a land of their own. We know that this plan is the best and only solution to the conflict between the two people. You say, man, that's that racist talk. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Minister Farrakhan says, we want justice. Equal justice under the law. We want justice applied equally to all, regardless of their creed, class, or color. He says, we believe in justice for all, whether in God or not. We believe in others that we do equal justice as human beings. We believe in equality as a nation of equals. But we do not believe that we're equal with our slave masters in the status of free slaves. We recognize and respect American citizens as independent people, and we respect their laws which govern this nation. Rebellion and tyrants is obedience to God. He said governments are instituted among men, deriving their just power from the consent of those who they govern. Whenever any form of government becomes destructive of those ends, it's your right to alter that government or to abolish it altogether. So have America given us life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness? Has she given that to us? Has she?
No, sir.
Then don't we have the right to alter and to abolish this government and build a new government of our own?
That's right.
But the question is, do you want to do that?
Good question, brother.
That's the question. We just buying time until it happened to you. See, nobody think, Castile didn't think that could happen to him. This man had a gun legally. They killed him anyway. We don't need to see no more, black men and women being killed by our enemies, nor by ourselves. See, I know that's your defense to this. I know that because I'm making a case here. The prosecuting attorney. But I know you want to be white folks' defense. So, bring your argument to the table. Man, see, because man, we our own worst enemy. Not naturally, though. See, you can't make that statement outside of its proper context. Any text out of context is a pretext for a proof text. See? Any text out of context is a pretext for a proof text. See, what is a proof text? I made a statement, right? And then I went in the Bible and I said, see, look where it's at. That's the proof text. I'm using this text to prove my point. You understand? But any text out of context is a pretext for a proof text. So when you bring a text and it's not in its proper context, then it's a pretext for a proof text. It's not truthful because it's not in the proper context. So if you say, yeah, but we killing each other. Okay. But you got to put that in its context, though. We ain't just doing it because we doing it. See, what I gave you was the totality. See, you circumstances. Don't just take one thing and say, ooh, see, look, ooh. You see, that's how you come on the scene. You see some brothers in suits beating somebody up. And to me, man, see the Muslims, man. You don't know what happened, though. You don't know what happened. Until we tell you.
Exactly.
Man, that man just took that old lady purse.
Right.
Oh, yeah, get him.
That's right.
But if you just came on and you don't know the full context, it looks wrong.
Right.
So when you hear us talking about white folks and you don't know the full context of what we're saying, man, they racist.
Right.
No. We got to give you the cause of our condition.
Yes, sir.
And even while you killing yourself like you killing yourself.
Right.
You're not just doing it because you're doing it.
Right.
So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad says that. He says that one of the gravest handicaps
Go ahead, brother.
among the so-called American Negro is that there's no love for self nor love for his own kind.
Right.
He said, and this not having love for self is the root cause of hate,
right.
dislike,
That's right.
disunity, disagreement, quarreling, betrayal, stool pigeons, fighting, and killing one another.
That's right.
He said, how can we be loved if we have not love for self in our own nation? Then what other nation will trust our love and membership?
Right.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, there's no problem today that is as hard to solve as the problem of uniting the American so-called Negro
That's right.
and Shegro. He said, we are like a dead man, totally without life,
That's right, brother.
who have lost all love of self and kind and have gone all out in loving our enemies.
That's right. I know you right. Please.
You understand?
Yes, sir.
He said they reared our ancestors to be enemies of each other.
Right.
See, so a lot of us don't like our Haitian brothers and sisters.
Talk.
And the boobies, you don't like them. Not that you don't like them, but what happened? See, your slave master over here in the West was an Englishman. You don't like them, and they don't like you. And that slave master was what? A Frenchman. So they not only gave you their language, they gave you their attitude and philosophy. So you know how the French and English didn't get along.
Right.
So now those who the French and English conquered don't get along. So you don't like them because you don't like them, and they don't like you because they don't like you. But we adopted the attitude of those that conquered us.
Yes, sir.
So I say it again, it's not you. It's the white man or woman that's in you.
Ouch. Thank you.
You wouldn't even believe that. I got a white woman in me. You do.
Go ahead, brother.
I got a white man in me. You do.
Go ahead, brother. Teach it. Wait.
He all up in there.
That's right, brother. Thank you.
But I'm just saying, like my brother said, just get out.
Yes, sir.
Get out. Get out of him and tell him to get out of you.
That's right.
See? I had to watch that movie before I came and delivered this lecture today.
Go ahead, brother.
Because I always got to remind myself. Got to get out.
Yes, sir.
You got to get out.
Yes, sir.
You understand?
Yes, sir.
Now the brother told him, don't go. Don't go up there, man. Don't go up there, brother. The brother told him, do not go up there.
That's right. He did. He
Don't go up there. But what happened though?
went anyway.
He went anyway. He went anyway. Now, when you went up there and you seen all these black servants, you should be like, all right, man, it's time to go. But that's not the thing, though. See, and this is what you got to understand. And Abdul Muhammad told us this, and Mr. Farrakhan told us about America, that she's not going to admit her losses until she like almost out of it. So if you notice on the movie, she played that thing to the last second. He was like, Rose. Her name was Rose too, wasn't it? She was Thorn. She had more thorns than petals. Rose, and then they gonna call her Rose. Anyway. See, it's so many symbols in that music. See, first of all, brother, why she gotta have the keys? But that's synonymous with our life.
Yes,
we
sir.
think that white folks got the keys to free us.
Yes, sir.
So they got the keys in their bag and we just rolling along. So now when it's time for you to leave, you gotta say, Rose, give me those keys. And Rose, I'm looking for the keys. Man, she played that thing to the last second. Everybody keys. Then after a while, she just said, you know I can't give these keys. That's how you be going up in Congress. And then when you get too close, man, you know I can't go. You know I can't give these keys, baby. They don't give you the keys. But the Honorable Elijah Muhammad says, I have been given the keys to God to your problems. So praise be to Allah, brothers and sisters. We thank you for coming. But it's a choice you got to make. America or a miracle? Which one do we need? I think we need a miracle. Take what we can take from America, but we need a miracle. Right? So I pray Allah blesses and strengthens us. Thank you for coming. I say,
be full of love. Y'all work hard. Great.
Man, praise be to Allah.
Yes, sir.
How many of you are here for you? I normally take questions. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions from our... Yes, sir, brother. Well, just hold your question, brother. Just 1 second, brother. We know you got what we love your questions too, brother. But we just want to give some of our new people a chance to ask some questions. All right? So you got a question, ask your question. All right? If not, don't make up no question. But if you got one, ask it.
That's right.
Okay, Sister Sylvia. We'll let her go first, brother. Now you... Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. She's talking about the unpardonable sin, right? I can't say. I mean, I guess that's... It talks about the unpardonable sin is those who speak blasphemy against the Holy Ghost. We're talking about that. I mean, you know, maybe that could mean those who don't bear witness or speak negatively about God. I mean, you know, that's what that could mean. But I can't say definitively that this means that. I'm just not qualified enough to do it. But what I am qualified enough to give you is what the minister and the messenger gave us. A man named Jesus shall be born and save his people from their sins. He said, and these sins is not our sins, but the sins white folks have put on us. That's what our Jesus have come to give us. The Jesus 2,000 years ago was not your Jesus. Right. He was the Jesus of the Jews. Right. You understand? That he was their Jesus. Right. We got our Jesus. Right. You understand? Yeah, you got a Jesus, sister and brother. Like, get out of the emotional attachment to that one. Get out of that. That one can't do anything for you. That's right. He was only a prophet. That's right. He came like the other prophets came. He delivered a message to the Jews, the children of Israel. They didn't hear him. They actually killed him. You understand? But that Jesus prophesied of another one that will come in his name. Right. This Jesus has come. That's right, and he's here to give us life. Say that. That we might have more life abundantly. But it's based on what you want to do. It's like, man, this is the thing. It's 1 + 1 = 2. Simple as that. You want to be healthy, stop eating garbage. I mean, it's just very simple. It's not no complex, recondite thing. But what makes it hard is that you and I are going against the forces of gravity. Because this is a world, again, that's in direct contravention to everything that's right. That's what makes it hard on you and me. Is that we're trying to be right in a world full of wrongness and evil. That's what makes it difficult. Not doing right in of itself is difficult. But trying to do right in a wrong environment is what makes being right difficult. Not that it's hard to be right. It's easy to be right. You understand? You are naturally right. You right because God made you right. That's right. You understand? But trying to be right in a world full of evil is what makes being right difficult. Not that right is hard. Man, it's hard being right. No, it's hard being right in the wicked world. See, it's hard not smoking when you got to walk past stores that got nothing but cigarettes and Black and Milds all day. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You understand? But if it wasn't there, then, you know what I mean? You won't even think about it. It's like those of us, Ramadan. You, man, think you couldn't go without coffee. Right. I can't go without coffee. Right. But then when you put yourself in a predicament where you can't drink it, you forget all about the coffee. Right. That's just how sin is to us. When we get in an environment where it's not prevalent, we will forget all about it. Yes, but you just in a world full of sin and iniquity. Right. So it's hard for you to leave it because now you just around it all day. Right. But it's not hard to be right. It's not hard to be right. Just be right. Someone once wrote the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, man, I'm having a problem with these cigarettes. How can I stop? He said, just stop. He told the man, just stop. There's nothing more powerful than a made-up mind. Nothing more powerful than the human will. No chemical, nothing. So if you want to do something, just do it.
Do it.
You follow me?
That's right.
This thing ain't, we're not trying to make no merchandise of you. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan to make you think it's something difficult. It's not difficult. You make it difficult. We make it difficult. You understand? But it's not difficult. So I can't say, what that means exactly. You understand? But I'm pretty sure if you study enough the teachings, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Minister Farrakhan probably answered that already. Because there's nothing that they really have not answered. You understand? It's just about us. You know, the Twitter have just de-verified the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Oh, yeah. Twitter. I mean, not that they verified him. I don't really know what that means per se, but it's out there that they have de-verified him. They ain't verified him. So how can you de-verify, man? You did not de-verify that. You have not verified. Yes, God has verified our lessons. You understand? And the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is outside of the realm of Western control. Right. That's why he go where he want to go. That's right. He come where he want to come and he leave when he want to leave. That's right. You shouldn't go here. And he said, what? I'm a free black man. I go where I desire to go. Mm-hmm. You understand? That's right, brother. So, praise be to Allah. Yes, sir. What's your question, brother? Thanks a lot, sir. Praise be to Allah. That's a reflection of, that's what God promised us though, didn't he? That if we follow these teachings, he'll make us the most beautiful nation in the wilderness of North America. Right. You understand? But rebellion makes you ugly. That's why when we was in the jungles in Africa, East Asia, we started getting ugly because we was in rebellion to God. We started elongating our necks and putting marks all in our face. See, rebellion to God makes you ugly. Go ahead, brother. Just does. But when you in God's bosom, go ahead. Say that. He beautifies you because God not no ugly God. That's right. God is a beautiful God. That's right. And if you from him and you submitting to him, he'll make you just as beautiful as he is. Because you are his creature, his child. But when you rebel against God, then you start looking like what you are rebelling against. Or what you are rebelling to. So now you got to have those artificial things to try to cover the rebellion. You understand? So the white man don't say eat right. Hell, eat how you want to eat. Then when you get ugly from eating like the beast that he teaches you to eat, and you start looking beastly, now you want to do things to cover the beastliness. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. See, he don't teach you, look, eat right, do this. Right. No, he just say, do the hell you want to do. And then don't worry about repercussions. I'll give you something to hide that. Take this proactive. Take this Revlon. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All that madness. Just be your natural self, and then you'll be naturally beautiful. I'm sorry, go ahead, brother. I digress. I'm sorry. Napoleon Hill. Be careful talking Napoleon up here. Go ahead.
Now, if cross reference that, and you read West of Black, it's the same thing with West of Black. Now, Napoleon Hill was a multi-billionaire, probably dead now, probably Napoleon family, generation ago, so on, right? What is our problem, right? The Honorable Elijah Muhammad pretty much taught us how to be billionaires, taught us how to do business. We had a plane, we had trucks, we had,
yes, sir.
We worked these FOI, working at the port. Sister Gabriel, right? Was speaking based on, I'm not going to quote about, the benefits, she spoke about the mind of separation, separate. So the ones who don't want to separate,
yes, sir.
The ones who do want to separate, how do we go about it? Do we have the mind to actually, save our money, invest our money, put our money here, like collectively,
yes, sir. Listen. Now, Elijah Muhammad said there's entirely too much distrust among us as a people. We trust everyone but ourselves. He said we therefore have to learn to produce trust in ourselves as other people trust themselves. Right. You understand? He said men everywhere united among themselves except for my people. So that's basically what it is. It's a trust factor, brother. We just don't trust our own. We trust everybody else. Or go to a store, or go to a job interview, get that white man all of our Social Security number, anything. Right. Come up in here, we ask you just for your name. If you got an ailment, oh hell no, I ain't giving you that. We just don't trust each other, brother. And here too, even if the person that's before us have not even shown us, like even if they've never even shown us a reason that we shouldn't trust them, we just won't trust them. Just because you black, you too dark, man. You too dark skinned. Maybe you was a little lighter, I'll trust you. But I'm just saying, brother, that's what it is. We just don't, that's what Don Muhammad said, that there's entirely too much distrust among other people. We trust everyone but ourselves. He said we therefore have to learn to produce trust in ourselves. How do you produce trust? Righteousness. You understand? That's why he gave us ethics, moral, trying to make us morally fit and right before you can start talking about a whole bunch of money. You understand? Because we know a lot of us been in business with black folks and been robbed. You understand? So you got to be some ethics. There got to be some consequences.
Yes, sir.
But that's just what it is. We just don't trust each other enough. Again, even if we have not shown you any reason that you should be a little skeptical, we just won't trust you. And listen, and then we'll be like, well, because you know all that came before was thieves and robbers. So was the white man. See, that's bull crap. You trust the white man, though?
Right.
Because we'll go to him, give him all our information.
Yep.
We don't give a damn. Know why? Because we feel like he got something that we need. We got a vested interest in him. So he been I don't know no bigger thief than him. We let him come in the house, unchecked. Got to talk about some damn trust. Got all your information on Facebook. You gonna come in here and talk about what's going on? Jesus Christ. You understand? But a lot of it be BS though. It's really because the Quran says they alter the truth even after they have understood it. So a lot of us know, but we just don't want to do nothing. You understand? A lot of us just don't want to do, we just don't want to unite. And for those who don't want to, vamoose, may Allah guide you. And for those who come, let them unite. But those who don't, let them go. You understand? That's just where we at. That's the separation. Everybody not going to come. Harriet Tubman couldn't get everybody. Denmark Vesey could not get everybody. Nat Turner couldn't get everybody. Everybody not going to come, but those who want to come, those who want their own, they'll come.
Go ahead.
You understand?
That's right.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said there's 85%, there's 10%, and there's 5%.
That's right.
You understand? There's never a mass movement. Jesus only had 12 with him. Imagine that. This is the Savior with 12 people with him.
Right.
Moses, Noah only had 8. There was only 8 in that ark. This Noah talking. Noah had 8. The most I seen was Moses. He had 600,000 with him leaving out of Egypt. Prophet Muhammad, it took him 3 years to get 40. Just never that. The prophets predicted, this is a sad prophecy, that only 144,000 people will make it out of the destruction of this world. There's over 7 billion people on the planet. They only foresaw 144,000 people making it. That ain't no people at all. But that's how deceived that this white man has the masses of the people. They're only so the Abdul Muhammad said, I'm writing what I'm writing to you, hoping that you can escape the sad prophecy of only 144,000 making it.
Yes, sir.
Jesus only had 12 with him. There was only 12 people willing to discipline themselves to the teaching of Jesus. He had maybe followers, but a follower is not a disciple. He only had 12. There's about that much up in here right now. In retrospect, Norca got over 200,000 people. You do the comparison, it's only about 12 people up in here. So it's never a mass movement, brother. But you unite with those who got the same mindset as you, and you go work out. And those who don't want to come, may God bless you. They ain't going to look down on you. But everybody just not going to come. Some people want to look and see what you're going to do. And then once you start moving, they want to come and add their 2 cents in. That is what you got, brother.
Just like that.
But we ain't mad.
Just like that.
We ain't mad, brother. We just keep moving.
That's right, brother.
See, you talk about Napoleon Hill. And the Ahmad Muhammad gave us the same thing, but guess what? They look different. The Ahmad Muhammad is a black man. You understand? So we take information based on who give it to us and not what was given to us. You understand? That's how we take information on how the person who gave me the information looked. That ugly Negro can't give me nothing. That's how superficial we are. You understand?
That's right.
So, but since Napoleon Hill is Asian, see, we got a thing in our mind about Asians, don't we? Not that we just think that, but that's how the media has made us think that Asians are just brilliant in it. So an Asian give you something, man, you know how them Asians do. But the black man, nigga don't know what he's talking about. He can't even hardly talk right. He's splitting up verbs and grammar. You understand? But an Asian, little Napoleon Hill come, how to think and grow rich. Look, he must know what he's talking about. Asian culture, whatever. We think all that's good. But us, another black man come to give you something. He don't know, you know what I mean? That nigga know, you know what I'm saying? He don't know nothing. That nigga from the hood like me. That's just how we do. And it's sad.
Yes, it is, brother.
We won't take information just because how old you are.
Go ahead, brother.
How old you? You 22? You can't tell me nothing. It's just what it is, brother. But, you know, that's kind of why, brother. It's just a trust factor, that's all.
All right.
Any other questions? That's a trust factor, brother. Yes, sir. Okay, praise be to Allah. How many of you are here for your first time? Raise your